What's going on, YouTube? I'm back again. You might notice it's the same exact shirt, and that's because I'm breaking these videos into two pieces. I talked about it in another one a little bit, but I didn't think I wanted to go right from Dollar General into World War III, but I wanted to talk about both because it's going news. World War III is on the mind. Apparently, it was trending on Twitter earlier today. I don't tend to like when people do this shit where they're like go around screaming about World War III and Civil War and shit, but I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility at this point. Apparently, Biden and the United States have allowed Ukraine to strike interior to Russia with our missiles that we provide them with, and they did that today for the first time, allegedly. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I saw allegedly on there. These missiles, what are they called? ATACMS, which is like the acronym's like AATACMS or something like that. I'm sure it stands for something really technological and cool, whatever. But I don't know what kind of cartoony-ass acronym. They really jumped the shark with ATACMS missiles. I don't know. I read that and I was like, that's goofy as hell. But it doesn't matter because we're launching missiles into Russia. And now Russia is coming out and saying they've updated their nuclear doctrine to say, basically for this instance, to say if a non-nuclear power, Ukraine, attacks us with the support of a nuclear power, United States, we consider that like good enough reason to retaliate with nuclear weapons. Obviously, they haven't used a nuclear weapon, or this video would be a little bit more panicky. Do I think they're going to use a nuclear weapon? No, I do not. Like, what is it? Why can't I think of the name? Mutually assured destruction, that doctrine in the sense of you launch a nuke, we're launching nukes, everybody's launching nukes, then the world doesn't exist anymore because we blow ourselves to hell. Obviously, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think that will happen because... but I also don't know if Russia necessarily used a nuke in Ukraine, like as long as they didn't hit a huge population center and used it like in a battlefield scenario. Like they have artillery-fired nuclear weapons, they have other missiles, or obviously like bombs, guided bombs with nuclear warheads on them. Doesn't have to be a missile like in G.I. Joe or some shit, like where they launch an intercontinental ballistic missile and it breaks into 10 pieces and then rains nuclear weapons down on the United States or whatever. But they could use one of these tactical nukes in like an actual like just in a battle or whatever in Ukraine. I know battle is kind of weird. It's not like World War II. I'm no history scholar, but I mean World War II was set a lot different, where we had the front lines. All these wars in the past were a lot different, where it's a lot now is like more guerrilla warfare. Obviously, there's front lines, who controls what territory, but it's not like the armies are encamped, I don't think, in these big areas, and you could like nuke the enemy force and know exactly where they're all at one time. Like that's not a thing anymore. And these battles aren't really like big giant battles where they roll in huge amounts of their military at one time to fight each other. I think it's more like it's spot fighting and obviously airstrikes. It's a whole different ball game. But the United States obviously used a nuclear weapon in World War II, ended World War II pretty much. Nobody else had nukes, so we got away with that one. Nobody's used one since, for good reason. Because if you use one, the people you're fighting, if they have them, are going to use them. I don't think us sending money to Ukraine in general is a good enough reason to be, like, a good reason to be over there fighting in general for these people. Like, obviously, there's tons of their young men population that's just getting wiped out. They're going to be fucked for a couple decades probably after this war. Russia's going to feel probably some pain out of it, but their population's so much bigger than Ukraine. I don't know if it'll be felt the same. But there's obviously an escalation here where we let Ukraine use our missiles. Like, you can't just give them missiles for free, one, because we're just giving them to them, basically, taxpayer-funded missiles, and then give it to Ukraine and say, yeah, go ahead, launch it. Hit Russia with it. Not even in like in a battle, just shoot it at them, wherever you want, I guess. I'm sure it's not wherever they want, but you get the point. Russia's not going to be like, oh, Ukraine is attacking us with missiles. Obviously, they know it's an American-made missile. We're giving them the missiles. Like, it's not... Putin knows what the fuck's going on. Like, it's not a secret that it's our missile getting launched at them. We've been supporting them the whole time. If it wasn't for U.S. support, I think Ukraine would have collapsed pretty quick under like the first, or at least the first or second Russian offensive into their country. Like we are supplying them with all their weapons and materials. As far as I understand, Europe, I'm sure, is helping as well. But without the material support, they would be done. Without the technology, without the weapons, it would be over already. I'm surprised Russia hasn't done something else in a lot of ways. But this is an escalation. We're saying go ahead, launch one at them offensively, and they're saying they're not doing it offensively. It's a defensive strike into Russian territory to disable their communications or their supply or something like that. Who knows what they're doing? But we haven't let them do it in the past, and now we're letting them do it. Why Biden's letting them do it now, right when he's about to leave, I don't fucking know. Like, why would you? If anything, you should try to simmer this whole thing down. Trump has made it clear that he's going to try to come in and resolve the conflict and get done with it, whether Ukraine has to make concessions or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. We're trying to get it over with. I didn't realize it's already been going for 3 years. It's like a thousand days of the conflict just a little while ago. I didn't realize it's been that long. But it has to end. I mean, we can't just keep giving money to Ukraine forever. They're going to run out of manpower at some point. Russia, obviously, I think has a little bit. If we stop supporting them, Russia's going to steamroll them, in my opinion. I think that's what would happen. But Biden's ramping this up, and then they're planning on giving them another, I think, $9 billion worth of aid, whether that's weapons or just aid money, military aid. Who fucking knows? But they're ramping it up as Biden's going out, which makes no sense to me. You would think they would tone it down. Try to calm things down as much as you can. It's always great to see somebody ramping it up, but that's why people obviously are leaning into this World War III fear. It's like you're escalating instead of de-escalating. We want to de-escalate things. You don't want to escalate things when the enemy, Russia, has a nuclear weapon. And then they say, hey, you keep doing this shit, we might use one. Obviously, you could say it's Putin's saber rattling or he's bluffing or all that, but it's all saber rattling until it's not, I guess. Like, you're not going to see the nuclear weapon coming and be like, oh shit, they're not going to like roll it out and then like set it up for a day and a half and be like, oh, we're serious. It doesn't take that long. When if the nuclear weapon is used, it just goes off, and then you get the news later that day that a nuclear weapon has been detonated in Ukraine, blah, 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 blah. And then where it goes from there, I don't even want to think about it, because it's not good. It's not positive. If a nuke goes off, there's no positive that's coming out of it. Yes, maybe World War III doesn't even happen then, and we can de-escalate from there, but obviously nobody wants to get to that point. Russia might be bluffing, but they might not. And is it worth it? Like I said, I don't think the fight we're doing right now in Ukraine is worth it. I don't even think the money, just sending the money over there is worth it, let alone any chance of getting into a World War III scenario with this conflict at all. North Korea is saying they're going to bring troops into Russia to help fight. Obviously, then South Korea is ramping up what they're doing, because if North Korea ramps up what they're doing, South Korea reciprocates. We got China-Taiwan thing going on. We obviously got Israel-Palestine conflict in the Middle East going on. Iran and us in the United States aren't getting along. There's plenty of tension to go around. And nobody knows when the starting point of the World War III is until in the future, after the World War III is over, then people go back and say, like, oh, this is what caused it. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not fighting no World War III over fucking Ukraine or Israel or anything. I don't give a shit. World War II, I think, was a just fight. Like, that just makes sense. America tried to stay out of it till Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. We were supplying Europe with supplies and things like that to try to help them fight Germany, but we had to get involved eventually. I think that's a just cause. I'm no history scholar, no war scholar, all that. I like World War II, I like learning about it, but I don't know everything, obviously. I think that was a just one. World War I, not worth it. That seemed like a bunch of, the Habsburgs and all the European dynasties, basically cousins fighting each other and shit. I know that's reductive, but they assassinated Ferdinand and they all kicked it off from there, and then it turns into like a power struggle over a bunch of basically the poor people all die while the rich people just argue with each other. The people leading these countries, not worth it. I don't know, from what I can tell, Vietnam, I don't know a lot about Vietnam, but it doesn't seem like it was worth it. Korea, I don't know if that was worth it either. South Korea might not exist either. The last couple wars we've gotten into, besides excluding World War II, I don't know. I don't know if it happened now, if I'd be like, all right, I'm gung-ho about this. World War II, I'd say I'm in. I would volunteer for that. I would like to say I would volunteer for it. I don't know if it actually happened, whatever. In theory, I would do it. That's a just cause. Ukraine, in my opinion, I really couldn't care less. Obviously, I don't want people to die. It's bad. That's why you should stop the war, not start launching missiles into Russia and attacking them. Obviously, it's a war. All hands on deck type shit. Like, go for it. There's no rules, history written by the victor, all that stuff, whatever you want to say. But I don't want to get involved at all. I don't even think we should be involved to the point we're involved as of right now. So I think we should tone it down, simmer it down, everybody chill out a little bit. Hopefully Trump will be able to do what he said and kind of de-escalate. But this doesn't look good. I don't know. What are they going to do? Make it worse for him on purpose? They're going to come in and be like, oh, by the way, World War III is about to kick off as soon as you take over because we're letting them launch missiles into Russia. What are they going to do next? You're going to missile strike Moscow with a United States-made missile and then act like you have no, oh, we didn't launch it. We just made it and gave it to them. I don't know where they're going to go from there, but we'll see. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully everything chills out. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're hoping the same. We want things to calm down, and I'm trying to raise my family and do my own thing here in the United States. I'm not trying to get fucking drafted into a war in Eastern Europe. I don't want any part of that. Leave me the fuck alone, to be honest. So let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video if you got something out of it. Dislike it if not. And that's the second video. I'm going to upload these separate, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.